have to be a responsible man, because my children are looking at me.
I believe a first date is the man giving you a glimpse into his world. So if that's what he sees and that's what he wants to show you, great.
If we're gonna be greedy, man, we can't leave without talking about food, bro.
We got to.
What's going on, everybody? It's Dwayne Jones, Greedy Buzzers. We are here today, going to act a fool. I promise you, this is going to be a great show. But for real, we got to get into it because we are here to get greedy in every aspect of our lives. So greedy with our kids, that relationship, greedy with our finances, greedy with our jobs, greedy with food too. So eventually we're going to get some food up in this thing and really get greedy and go on site. But today, I got the fam in the house. Big Sis Coco Brown is here, so we gonna act a total fool today, and we're gonna have this conversation because it's a lot of good information. So nonetheless, Big Sis Coco Brown,
what up, babe?
What's going on,
How
fam?
you doing?
Man, look, it's good. So it's 2024, right?
Yes.
We are
Yes.
out. We are officially in and out of the pandemic. Like we double dutching that thing, like we do. Like, oh, we in, we out, we in, we out.
Honey, I worked through the whole thing,
Right.
so I don't.
Tell me about that. How did
how
did I feel? Like how did you switch up? Because
I kind of regret that I didn't take advantage of the pandemic like a lot the my friends did.
you talking about the PP loans?
I'm due all of that because I'm such a hustler that it was like I've always been a plan. If plan A don't work, plan B, plan C, plan D. You keep going till you find a plan that works
Right.
for you.
Okay.
So when they said, okay, Hollywood shut down, I said, okay, I'm gonna do my comedy. They said the comedy club shut down. Okay, well I'm gonna tell jokes on Zoom.
Right.
And then they said, oh, they're not really doing that too much anymore. Okay, I'm gonna start an edible business.
right. I mean,
I
and
can
people
cook,
get the
and I got
munchies.
the good. I mean, I literally hustled and worked, and probably at one point made more money.
Right.
Like I was killing, and I was stacking because we really couldn't spend.
Right.
Outside of Amazon. Now Amazon and
Amazon
me
was
were
making it
friends.
work. They was like, man,
I had so many Amazon
Today-
boxes. I could have built my house over with Amazon boxes, but.
therapy. I need therapy for Amazon.
Dude,
'Cause I was on Amazon
but it's
every
like
day.
I wish I had taken advantage of it where I just had rested.
Yeah.
Slept, chill, got lazy because I never slowed down. And then, of course, everything kicked back in, and I hit the ground running.
Running.
Right after the pandemic, I had, 5 TV shows I was on at the same time.
Right.
So I'm running from show to show, LA to North Carolina to Georgia, LA. My life was crazy. Now, 2024 is when it's like, but then never say it out loud that I'm about to rest, because the universe said, we're going to put you on 2 different tours right now.
Right.
So now I'm slinging jokes.
So how do you, because you're a mama,
Yeah.
like how do you manage that one?
It's
It's stupid. Because you know me, I'm traveling up and down the road. I got
single dad.
Right, single dad. So I got kids up the road in North Carolina, and then my daughter here full time here in college. So how do you? Because as a good parent, you feel some type of way, even though you know you're doing it for them. You feel a little bit of kind of way because you're like, I'm going back. How are you doing that?
It's hard because I am a single mother, and unfortunately, I did not make the best choice in an ex-husband. I'm doing this all by myself and raising him, providing for him, clothing, feeding, you name it, house, everything I do.
Right.
In the grace of God. But the guilt, I have to reel myself in sometimes from the guilt, because I'm grateful to be working to the capacity I'm working, to
Right.
be in demand, to be working, and I'm able to take my kid on Disney cruises and take my kid to the Bahamas and
Right.
put him in private tennis lessons and basketball and soccer and whatever he wants to do.
Want to try it?
Mommy got it,
Right.
But it also puts me at where I have to sacrifice time spent with him.
Right.
Because I am doing it all by myself. And then at one point, I was taking care of not only my child, but I was taking care of 2 ailing parents. You know what I'm saying? So I was spread thin, to
All
say the
things to all
least.
people, right?
But I will say that I've been blessed with a very understanding child who gets it. And, it's kind of a running joke now that he likes to see me pack that bag because he knows I'm going to make some money, which means we're probably going to take a trip somewhere.
So that's the thing about it. Kids are very, very resilient. We give them credit. 'Cause, again, I grew up in a divorce household. So at the initial point, you're like, dang, dad, mom here, this other, what if their step parents come in, you're like, oh, this is frustrating. It's my fault. Like most kids Most
No,
kids,
he really
most kids
thought
always
something
think
was
it's their
wrong with
fault,
him. Yep.
right? It had nothing to do with the kid at all. But
Lots and lots of
especially
therapy
little boys,
for
are
my
like,
kid.
it's my fault.
Lots of therapy I
Mom
spent
and
on
dad
my
broke
child.
up because of me. So now, good point. So, what is your take on therapy? Because
I'm here for it.
I'm here for it.
My child, when his father decided to walk out his life again, and I know many women say this, but I can honestly tell you beyond a shadow of a doubt, and may God strike me down if I'm lying, nothing I did made him walk away. That was his choice.
That's his choice.
It was an open door. He didn't have to call me to speak to that child. He had his own phone.
Right.
He had his own email. He had a little laptop. You know what I'm saying? Child support, I didn't even ask for it. I just said put some money in his trust fund, which I cannot legally touch. The government would penalize me. You had the account number. Only he can touch that money when he turns 18. Nothing I did to set you up lovely where you didn't have to deal with me wasn't good enough. So I can honestly say not all of us drive men away.
Right.
A lot of us open the door wide open. You just won't put one foot in front of the other and walk through.
Yeah, man. Some people do, some people.
But therapy had to come into play for me because the final time that he came into my son's life and made a bunch of promises and gassed him up and then disappeared.
Right.
He was 7. He was 7, and it broke him.
Right.
It broke him because he just could not understand why this man kept coming in and out. And me trying to be that woman who didn't prevent a man from being a father to his child
Right.
was letting him do this yo-yo crap.
Right. And you
Up
can't do
until
that.
that moment.
Yeah.
And then when I get a call from the principal that my child has flipped out and thrown a chair because some little kid said you don't have a daddy, and he flipped out because it hit a nerve.
Right.
And I had to put my child in therapy. It was a lot to find a black male child
Absolutely.
therapist. Brothers, if you are healed enough, go get a degree because we need more black male therapists for our boys.
Yes.
Okay, there's plenty of females, but we need more black male therapists.
Absolutely.
And I spent thousands for this child to get to a place where he didn't feel it was his fault, that he did something wrong, that he was looking at me like, what did I do?
Right.
And didn't know how to ask me.
Because they don't know how to. They don't know. Figure
Right,
if
it
it's
took him-
not me, then okay, somebody showed me that it's not me.
Right.
Then Mama did something.
It took him to turn 10 years old, and I was making his breakfast one morning before he went to school, for him to ask me, Mommy, did you do something to Daddy to make him go away? And I was like,
Oh my God. But I guess that's the same conversation I had with my dad. Like my mom and dad got divorced, and I thought it was my fault. Okay, it wasn't your fault. But my dad waited till I was grown. Like my dad never, and that's a strong black man right there too. That never ever bashed my mom. And for those people that bashed her, you can't do it because guess what? You chose them. So at the end of the day, it's kind of your fault a little bit too.
oh, I had to take full accountability. I had to have that whole
I
woman in the
chose
mirror
you.
moment.
So I'm
Because I saw the signs.
right. You was like, you just ran right through the.
That he
you're doing
might not
100,
be the best choice,
but
but
you ran with it.
Stay tuned to CCC TV Network relaunch.
Young TLC, and right now you tune in to Hepowerment.
What up, though? It's your girl, Miss Lyric, aka the Beautiful Beast, and I'm excited because they are putting your girl on TV. You will be seeing this face everywhere, okay? All over your TV screens. And I'm looking for people just like you to interview. So if you are a business owner, an artist, somebody that's making a difference in the community, you need to holler at me because I am the people's plug. So holla at your girl, spitting with Miss Lyric. Let's go. Yeah.
Once I got to that point, I literally think I was on my wedding the day before my wedding, when my dad told me his version of how him and my mom got divorced, and I was like, okay, that makes a little bit more sense now, and that kind of helped me go along because again, it's some stuff like when you talking about therapy, and again, I love Jesus, be a Christian, whatever you believe in, you know, like I always say that God put, you know, you could pray, believe, and heal, and click it, and win it, and sow it, and reap it, and all that stuff. But if you believe in a higher power, then you should also know that a higher power might be smart enough to put people on this earth that went to school K through 12, then they went to school 4 more years for college, then they went to school at least 2 more years.
Jesus can do all things, as well as point you in the way of a good doctor.
He can train people to help you navigate through your own brain, right? So I learned that, you know, a while. And again, I have a black women therapist, but I have a black woman therapist that is from Ohio, like me. So that person has the same mindset. That connects with. Right, you have somebody that has the same understanding.
I have a little black boy who has never had an active, present
black man
father.
Right.
Now, mind you, I've got great role models in his life, incredible black men in his life. But when it came to a therapist, I wanted him to feel free enough to be sitting in front of somebody that looked like the father maybe he wished he had.
True.
Where he would put that guard down.
Right.
And I sent him to female therapist first, and it was good, but I also realized he was seeing me. Therefore, I can't say everything because she like mama. But the minute I sent him to a black male therapist, oh, the floodgates opened.
Right.
And I knew
all kind of change.
Oh my goodness. I mean, of course he couldn't, he shared with me what I needed to know.
Right.
You know, about my child. Right. And I realized he's opening up to you.
Right.
You know, and I realized that even with my son now, when I need to discipline him, I'm still mama, so he may be like, okay, but if I say I'm about to call Uncle so-and-so, well, no,
but that's all kids. They all somewhere between 11 to 17. What you say just doesn't resonate with your kid anymore because they just don't. You're so far removed from them, even though you're really not. That they don't believe what you're saying.
Yeah.
So I have a 21-year-old. So it's kind of like, and she was a woman. I'm raising a woman. I'm throwing stuff. I'm throwing darts against the wall like, please stick, because I don't know what I'm doing. But nevertheless, it got to a point where she was around 15, 16. In one ear, out the other. Dad don't understand me. Yeah, I don't understand. And that's kids.
I mean,
so,
you know, I got acquainted with a few trash cans to the back of the head during that age because
my
mouth got slick. You know, hormones, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Little twitch.
And I'm getting that now with him in that prepubescent. Right. You know, his little hair.
Yeah, got a little peach.
You know what I'm saying? You know, and it's like the test. But I thank my father, God rest his soul. When I became a single mother, when I left my marriage, I remember me and my father had a conversation. And we were sitting on the porch, and my dad was like, look, you about to be raising a boy by yourself.
Right.
He said, and I said, well, what advice would you give me, Daddy? And he said, my best advice is put the fear of God and you in him now.
Yeah.
Because if you try to wait till later, you're going to pay for it.
Never work.
He goes, you have got to let him know that disappointing you is not an option. You have got to put the fear of repercussions, consequences for disappointing you in him now.
Right.
And I thank him for that because I had to yoke him up one good time, you know, and scared the bejesus out of him because he had never seen that side of mommy because he had did something that was totally off the wall. I had to show him mama's crazy side.
Right.
But I can honestly tell you, just the thought of disappointing me keeps that boy on the straight and narrow. And even when he does get out of pocket, it's not the out of pocket.
It's not the
crazy.
It's not the like you did this and it's gonna change your life. You went in jail. We gotta do probation.
It's you didn't do your homework.
Right. Yeah. It's like you didn't do your homework.
Dude, you knew you had homework. Why would you go outside and play? Right. Like little stuff like that.
Yeah. I stole something from the store. Nothing crazy. Beating people up, joining gangs. It's really just more so like little. You didn't clean your room. You kind of got a little smart mouth. Be like, hey, hold up, now. Like
but the double-edged sword to that was that he thought I wanted him to be perfect.
Right.
And I had to recondition him because he was coming home with great report cards, all A's and 1 B, and he would be a nervous wreck because of that B. And I'm like, baby, why are you tripping? And he's like, because it's not an A. And I'm like, well, who told you gotta be all A's? Well, I just want to bring you home all A's. I'm like, baby, do you understand you've gotten better grades than I ever got? I had to go to get a master's degree to see all A's.
Yeah.
So I had to get him back from the edge of thinking he had to be perfect.
Right.
You know, it's okay to make mistakes
Right.
and have your flaws. I said, but you understand that some mistakes are choices.
Right.
And I want you to make good choices.
Yeah, and that's one thing, especially relationship wise. I try to impress with my daughter. You know, I wanted her to not be perfect. I just say, I'm gonna set you up so that you're better than me. Like, you seen, so I don't have to
want my son to be
badmouth.
far
I don't
worse
have to
than everyone.
badmouth any relative. I don't have to badmouth your mom. All I'm telling you is, you witnessed this. You saw this train wreck. You saw the light at the tunnel. You didn't get off the track. You saw that happen. So all you have to do is just not do that.
When my child asked me, you know, did I do something to make his dad go away? And I told him no and yes. And he was like, what? And I said, okay. I didn't do anything as per se to make him initially walk out of your life other than, you know, I wasn't going to tolerate what he had done. What did he do? I had to tell him the truth.
Right. You got
You
to.
know,
At a certain age, you have to.
I had to tell him the truth. I
Right.
couldn't lie to him. You
Right.
know, I said, look, your daddy was married to somebody else and married to me, honey, that's a felony. He was like, isn't that against the law, mommy? I'm like, yeah.
Yes.
You know, so I said, but I never, ever, never wanted him to stop being your daddy. He's still your daddy. I said, that was his choice.
Right.
To walk away. I said, but you did nothing wrong. I said, I don't think mommy did anything wrong. I said, daddy didn't have to call me to talk to you. Daddy didn't have to give me a check. You know, daddy, anything that would have maybe said, oh, she made it difficult. No, I was over here with it. I made sure you had all access to your child without any involvement from me.
Right.
And you still didn't take that.
Yeah,
that still wasn't good.
That's like the low of the low.
Right. You still, and so, you know, when I explained it to him, I told him the truth. He was just like, oh, okay. But even in the midst of me telling him the truth, I never dogged him.
Right.
I never
you can't.
badmouthed him.
You can't because
I just told him the truth of what happened.
yeah, because you'll let. I mean, again, I have a 21-year-old now, so you don't have to. And I'm glad I didn't, because you know you want to. You're like,
Oh, trust me, I've gone in the bathroom
Like,
when
this
he's
one
gone
on-
to bed and called him every filth,
Right.
floor, and filth,
But-
floor, and filth.
But kids grow up to be young adults, and then they grow up to be adults, and you don't have to defend yourself, because they'll look and be like, dang, my mom wasn't here for this. My mom ain't called for that. Or that, like my daughter, I been sitting in the room one time and the light went off, like, oh my God. Like you could tell, like, so my mom, when I was little, my mom did this and that. And what you just told me 5 minutes ago that you weren't even talking about my mom explains why this happened 8 years ago wasn't true or shouldn't have went like that, because
Well, the person
it is
that's usually
crazy.
the most guilty is the one that's going to come in trying to make the other person look bad.
Yeah. Man, I done some things in my life, you did. Real. Wrote a song about it, here it go. I done things, know what I mean? Chasing his dreams, all of the hurt, all of the hate, the struggling just to be free. Know what I mean? But I am queen, this is my year. I'm coming through, cause God's blessing me. Yeah, done it. In them streets, road running. Money moves with my goons, flip stack and getting them hundreds. All dudes, one running. Ballin' straight up stunning. Living the vida loca, but God was trying to tell me something. Stop denying me like Pete. I'm the shepherd, you my sheep. And you thinking Vegas hot, well hell hotter than Vegas heat. So sit down, be humble, please. Don't act like your stuff don't stick. And turn from your wicked ways, deny yourself and follow me. Okay, God forgive me, please. I be bugging so. It's time to tell my truth, my story. Beautiful beast, real spit. Yeah. Man, I done some things in my life, you did.
Baby, listen, you never let a man put his hands on you. Do you hear me, baby?
Yeah.
Do you hear me? You gotta get them before they get you.
I'm gonna keep my eye on him, Mom.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch him.
definitely keep your eye on him, honey. You better get him before he gets you.
Yeah.
thinking go-kart is on my idea.
Can you put your phone down? Can you put your phone down? Oh my God! Why do you keep picking up your phone? I'm sorry. What the hell? Is he crazy? We just went through this. Oh, really? Leave me upstairs by myself to answer the phone? No. Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And you just gonna walk away? You just gonna walk away from me? If I can't have you, nobody can.
And, unfortunately, I hate it when they do it to them when they're young and they can't comprehend. But the ones who are brave enough and stupid enough to do it to an older child, a teenager or a young adult, and that young adult and that teenager has seen the other parent bust their tail and never throw salt on your name.
Ever.
And you coming in here and that's all you got to say is bad stuff about the person that raised me, that took care of me.
They're not having that.
They looking dead through you. Yeah. It's like, one time, this is recent. I felt bad at first. My son's always comes on the road with me sometimes. But I used to put headphones on him because I didn't want him to hear what mommy was saying on stage.
Right.
Mama grown.
Mama say little.
Mama grown.
Okay, on
stage.
It ain't PG.
A lot of times he'll just be in the green room and he'll be in his little games, not paying attention. Well, obviously he decided to get out and peek and see what mommy was doing. And it happened to be about a joke I do about how I keep having this dream that my son is being drafted in the 2036 NFL draft, number one draft pick for the Cowboys. Don't say nothing. That was his daddy's favorite team.
Cowboys.
I know. I'm not a fan,
it's
but
okay.
It was his father's favorite team. This is all about karma.
Right, his dream.
This is all about karma. And I'm sitting in the audience looking at my baby, and proud of my baby. And this is a dream because Jerry Jones is still living.
Right.
So
he's about 105. He's about 105 now.
That man, I'm telling you, lives in a tomb.
Right.
But and right when he's getting ready to hand him his jersey, Jerry Jones goes, Phoenix, your mom, I've jumped over rows of chairs and is whooping his father's tail at the NFL draft.
Because he popped up.
In front of Eric, because he popped up. Like, how dare you show up now? How dare you show up now? Mm-hmm. And so my son is in the back of the car, had no idea he had come out the green room. Had no idea he heard me say that. He says, Mommy? I said, yeah. First of all, I wouldn't play for the Cowboys. But secondly, I would have Daddy escorted out.
Right. They know.
I was like, oh my God.
They know. They get it.
And that's the most he's ever said. He's ever heard me say about his dad. Honestly. But our kids, I think that we just have to undo the generational curse because we do have a lot of people. Stop using your kids as pawns. Stop using your kids as a sounding board because they don't need to hear your grievances about the parent. They can't help you solve that. Stop using them as some kind of, bargaining chip. They're children. They're not. You're not at Vegas. You're not playing poker.
Right. It's like craps. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
7 come 11.
But you got people out here that don't have the maturity level to be parents.
True.
The unfortunate thing is you can have a baby as soon as you start bleeding. Doesn't mean your mind is caught up.
Right. And so that leads into this funny thing. So how do you feel about parenting, like in general, or even society? Because my thoughts are, everybody's getting younger and younger. Mm-hmm. So it ain't no big mamas anymore, right? Because big mama,
I'm gonna be one.
Big mama about.
I had my son at 40, so I'm gonna be a traditional grandma.
So big mama about 33 now.
Right,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
The
They
mama,
all three
21.
generations in the club together.
Right. Everybody could go pop bottles together, go to Magic City and everything like that. But that expectation is different because even in the dating world. So you're not married, right? What does a date look like to you?
What is a date?
What is a date? Like, so if you can't go to Cheesecake Factory.
No, see, that's crazy. That's crazy. That was. And first of all, girlfriend, if you're gonna say something like that, at least have on some Gucci, some Louis. You had on Sheen.
Right.
Trying to read somebody with your little $39.99 outfit, girl.
Right, chilling.
But dating is weird now. And see, for me, the dynamic is different because I am on TV and I am kind of, noticeable.
Right.
One of the last dates I went on, dude asked me out, nice 5-star restaurant,
Okay.
We met at the restaurant, because I came in from, outside the city. He lived in the city. Date was going great. Busboy recognized me.
Okay.
Okay. Busboy must have ran and told the chef that I was there.
Okay.
This is when 911 was like, I
Right,
was
right.
on heavily.
That was my show
Heavily.
too. That was my show too. You was on there every day
Okay.
taking care of little boy.
Heavily.
I was like, oh, look at this.
Next thing I know, little toppers start coming out. A complimentary bottle of wine from the chef comes out. And dude is like, oh, okay, this is nice little restaurant. They showing out. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I know what this is.
Right.
But I'm letting him think, his presence.
Oh,
his presence has done this.
Okay, gotcha.
So the chef comes out. And the chef introduces himself and then turns to me and says, Miss Brown, I'm a huge fan. I'm honored that you're in my restaurant. Is there anything I sent you out some of our samples of our most popular dishes and one of our most popular wines. And I'm watching dude's ego.
So he just melting.
Oh my God. I'm watching him just shrivel in front of me. And I'm like, oh God. So as soon as dude walked away, I didn't know I was having dinner with Beyonce. I'm like,
oh, now you hating?
I'm so not Beyonce.
Man.
Is it always like this when you go out?
Maybe.
I'm like, maybe.
If it
I mean, you ain't appreciating this bill being paid right now, bruh. We about to get filet mignon. Okay, like what's the dome? Let's get some Louis. What are we doing? So, whole attitude changed. I guess he's used to women stroking his ego. I guess women making him feel he's a good-looking dude.
Because he took you to 5-star, so he came out the
he's
gate.
He's that dude in Atlanta could have 20 women all fighting over him. He's that kind of dude. Good-looking dude, whatever.
Gotcha.
So he's probably thinking, I'm not the spotlight. I'm not the star. I'm not the catch. Like, I literally watched his pride and ego disintegrate. And I'm just sitting up there looking at the chef like, you're ruining this day for me, right? Well, thank you so much.
It was a nice date.
You're ruining this for me. Do you know this fool? We leaving the date. And he's like, so you want to get together again? I'm like, oh, he wants to see me again. I said, yeah, sure, whatever. Let's get together. Okay, sure. We get outside. He Ubered to the restaurant. I valeted. Now, most men.
What up, y'all? It's your queen, Miss Neek, also known as Miss Neek Revamp. And baby, let me invite you to Hot Kitchen ATL. Let me tell you, I don't care if you are a cook, if you are a chef, if you only cook for the kids, if you cook only for the daycare, or if you're a classically trained chef. Maybe you're the family's best kept secret. I need you in Hot Kitchen ATL on my show, Cooking in My Kitchen. Details below.
Now, most men, it's 10-something at night.
He gonna walk you to the whip.
Thank you.
Right.
Can we discuss how that fool hopped in this Uber and left me standing there?
He didn't want to pay the extra $3 for
I
the Uber to
don't
wait.
know. But when he hopped in that Uber and left, I kind of stood there. And what was even the craziest thing, and shout out to that little boy that was the valet driver, little Atlanta boy. He said, me lady, that fool didn't leave you right there.
Hey, he with a pure bankhead on him.
I'm like,
yeah.
He said, man, I can't believe that fool jumped in that car. Let me walk you to your car, me lady. I was like, oh, thank you, baby. This little boy had more sense than your 49-year-old tail.
But again,
then at the nerve to call me 45 minutes later going, oh, did I forget to walk you to your car?
You forget.
You ain't forget to walk.
He's
You
still
did
hurt.
that, try to take me down a peg or two. because your ego was bruised because somebody was a little bit more popular than you at the table.
Who cared about popularity at this age?
Dude,
though? Like,
that's what I'm saying.
So I can see
So
it.
my dating situation is different.
It's different.
I have to
So you
worry
didn't find him on
about-
Christian Mingle? Like, where you find it?
No, I was introduced to him. And even the person that introduced me was like, dang, I didn't know he was insecure like that. I was like,
So
dating is hard.
I mean, dating is.
And don't have a little notoriety.
It's just weird. It's just weird anyway. You know, you add kids to that, the whole other dynamic. But people are weird. But again, I think that it's so many elements of the household that are missing now that it's really hard to get all of. Like, guys are, I won't say scared to ask, but stuff that was traditional from the parents that raised us isn't traditional anymore. So
They've got to get to know these women. That, women, we're always being told, did you know them well enough? Did you fall in love with your eyes, the body, whatever. Men got to get to these women. You keep talking about you don't meet women that do these things. Are you talking to these women?
Right.
Get to know these women. They'll tell you on the first date.
I don't cook.
What's she about?
Styrofoam, all of that.
All of that.
Cholesterol high.
You can't say you didn't know. You can't say you didn't know. And the thing is, yes, there are women out here that'll smack a man's hand for opening her door. And I'm like, where they come from?
Yeah, but it is a lot of people like that flowers age or
Oh,
that
my gosh.
holding the door open to people look at you like
And
you crazy.
for women like me who come from that traditional upbringing that loves all that stuff, finding a dude that will do that without you having to tell him,
right.
that just is in him to be a gentleman, not worrying about if the last 10 heifers didn't appreciate it, I'm gonna still be a gentleman. Y'all get hurt one time, ego bruised one time, and now y'all treat all this
I have to push back a little bit on that because there are a lot of men who are raised by women that didn't get taught that, or raised by men that weren't taught that either. So when you're learning somebody, then this is what I like, this is what I don't like. Like, I don't want to take out the trash. Okay, I got you, babe. I'll take out the trash. You might have to remind me every once in a while because, but tell me, I don't like flowers. Okay, I won't buy you flowers. You like chocolates? Okay, cool. But those aren't the conversations that are being had. Everybody just going through it, and dudes.
First of all, you're dating with your eyes.
I'm asking 20 million questions, right?
Stop dating with your eyes and open your ears.
Right, BBW.
Because that woman will tell you everything she's about or not about if you stop looking at her boobs and butt. Okay, and she will tell you, I have sat on double dates or just group ventures and watched conversations be had. I'm a constant observer, but in the business I'm in, I have to observe.
Right.
And mind you, I observe everywhere. I'm just not in one element. I'm in clubs. I'm in churches. I'm on cruise ships. I'm in corporations. I'm in hospitals. You name it, I get to observe people in all different elements.
Right.
And what I've noticed is that men are so busy Googling and oogling what she looked like. Did you not hear this heifer say she don't pay for jack? Did you not hear this heifer say she don't cook out, she take out? Like, did you hear this heifer say she don't want no kids? Did you just hear this child say she don't like kids? Like, you're so busy looking at the body she done built for you.
Right.
That you're not hearing this woman tell you, I ain't ish, ain't gonna ever be ish, and you gonna pay for all this ish. You're not listening. Now, women, I know us. As women, I ain't gonna lie. I'm sitting in front of a fine piece of black man, honey, and ain't heard Jackie said, because I'm like, oh, he's so fine, he's so fine. But I got older and realized, okay, you cute and all, but what you about?
Yeah.
But in them early years, all you could see was the dreads and the swag and the
like
beard.
the dreads, huh? Okay.
I do love
Beard
the
love. Okay,
but,
right.
But seriously, men, listen to women. Stop judging her worth on the size of her butt. Because I know I say it as a joke, but I mean it. The devil know what he's doing, putting a fat ass on a demon.
A whole lot of them. Soaking wet.
Because y'all fall for it every time.
Peel back.
Because you're not listening. But I think dating is just hard now because there's no conventional way of dating. Everything is resorted to sliding in somebody's DM, texting. You would not believe the amount of men I have texting me right now that I've never went on a date with, never formally hung out with.
Right.
But they really do think an occasional text of, hey, beautiful.
They running back around.
Hey, beautiful.
But everybody
how
do
you
that.
doing?
But
and I'm thinking, fool.
That's the social media world.
But I'm going to tell you, the best way to get back at those ladies, hit them with a who this. I don't even say the numbers.
Like what?
I don't even say if you don't call me.
Yeah, trust me, that thing is universal.
You got about 3 texts in you.
Right.
After that, if you keep texting, I don't say your number.
But that is the electronics world. So that's universal. Social media,
I'm
texting.
talking about people that come from
They come to try to holler at you.
They come from my era.
Yeah.
That know how to date.
They trying to.
Why are we drinking this millennial Kool-Aid?
Right.
Just because they're doing this crap?
Yeah.
We know better.
We should.
We know better. So why are we reverting back to something that's beneath us?
People trying to get in.
We did all that crap in our 20s. We didn't have social media, but you know,
and we glad though.
I'm gonna tell you what I would do.
If I had social,
what I would do to go back to a time
where there was no
social media and you had to actually get to know people, and the only people that had an opinion in their life were those who sat at your table.
That were around you every day.
Honey, what
people get how you getting bullied? You getting bullied for?
time.
It's really people getting bullied for somebody that lives 17 states away.
Dude, they probably ain't never left their house.
And don't look like what they look like. Everything. So
you know. Catfishing back in our day was a blind date.
Right, just like you gonna show up, my homegirl got a girl. Okay, cool, bring her with you. Oh, you supposed to tell me that she was.
She cute though.
She cute though. She real nice though. Like no, she nice. No, I ain't with it. She nice. That's the first. That's the first attitude. Like, oh, your baby's so sweet.
Look at that outfit. That's a cute outfit.
He's so quiet.
But no, I think that's the thing that trips me out is that I'm not judging these babies because we all went through whatever phases we went through in our 20s and 30s.
Right.
I am flabbergasted
about that 40 plus
by these 40 plus people behaving and operating in that same space when you know better. You know how to conduct yourself. You know how to date. You know. First of all, if you're saying, well, they don't want to do no more, then stop dating 25-year-olds and you 46.
Yeah.
Maybe if you date a grown woman. And then I see the grown women. Girl, if you don't get your butt out the day party with these 25-year-olds,
right? Why
are you trying to compete with a half of the fashion overdress? You somebody's mother. You grown. Why you competing? You know, like I don't get it. And say maybe I'm just in that bubble of I miss the old school.
Right.
I miss
I think
tradition. I miss all of that. Because
being a single parent, being in this industry as well, in the entertainment industry, you see stuff coming and going and up and down and left and right. You really value time more because time is so limited that it makes you think, hey man, this ain't worth it, bro. I want to be healthy. I want to be happy.
For my son.
Right.
I tell you all the time. I date for me, but honestly, I can't even begin to take anything serious if I can't see you being a good influence on my child.
Right. Absolutely.
Like if you might be the finest man walking, body banging, money throwing at me, trips flued out, whatever. You'll never meet my child if you ain't crap.
Can't.
And the thing is, when I'm looking at being serious with somebody, do I see you being somebody I would want my son to
be like? Right.
And the minute I go, no, ain't nothing to talk about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to hold me, honey. I got a pill and a rose. I'm good.
I'm just thinking now, like we literally have an adult now. So now my oldest is old enough to be like, come here, Dad. When they were little, they might be like, they just smile. But now, I have an opinion. You about to have a degree. You about to, hey, Dad, she ain't it. Or,
yeah,
that person that
I've
you
already
now,
told my
great.
son he can't bring home an Isha. She can't have if she got a passport, it better be more than the Caribbean in it, because that means she getting flued out.
Right.
I mean, I need him to make her read out loud.
Oh yeah, with the scrimps.
I need you to test her. If she gets mad at you for opening her door, cut her.
And having these powerful women come and share their stories, amazing. It is time for us to take charge and take back our community.
No, I never heard of that. And she told me that, yeah, you know, it's a big upcoming thing.
I kind of went into this shell, and because I began to look different.
If she gets mad because you want to walk on the right side of the street, cut her.
Right.
Like, I've given him rules. We're not doing that over here.
On the throwbacks.
I'm raising a gentleman, therefore I suggest you bring home a lady.
So, did you show that young fella how to cook?
Yes.
See?
So all you chicks out here teaching your daughters how to make chicken Alfredo, my son will not be impressed.
Man, not at all, bro. Like,
my child makes
the three
pasta carbonara, honey.
Yeah, you can't go to the three.
Shrimp scampi, honey.
Yeah, spaghetti ain't gonna cut it. Huh?
No, fettuccine Alfredo with some chicken cutlets in it ain't gonna cut it, honey. Okay, no, my child makes homemade ramen, honey. You pull out a pack of oodles and noodles, he gonna be like, ugh.
Yeah. I'm like that too. Like it's time to cook but again, these people need to have these social skills.
But I worry about him.
Because he gonna meet somebody and be doing everything?
Well, no. With the way things are going, with what I'm seeing coming up.
It's scary, man. It is scary.
What is my child gonna have to choose from? Unless we do, now I could go stick my child in Jack and Jill and make sure he reaches a young lady on his level. Absolutely. But what's out there, it's like that might be my only recourse, because what I'm seeing coming up,
it's different, man.
Like these baby girls, I go and pick them up from school, and these little girls, stomach all out,
right,
booty cheeks out, they all I'm like, you can't bring that home to me.
Man, I'm a former high school teacher.
You can't bring that home to me, bro.
Right. When I taught high school, I was like, wow, this, and I taught a predominantly white school. I was like, yo, this is amazing. Like these kids are like, they really have like grown responsibilities at 10 or 11.
To a degree. We was at least covered up.
But I mean, we had like sneak out. Like these mothers is just coming outside like that. Like they just walk out, boom. Cause they parent like 24.
You know how long it took me? First of all, I could never like freely curse in front of my mother.
Right.
These kids curse in front of their parents like it ain't nothing.
Right.
I mean, filth flooring, filth with it.
Yeah.
And it just. And I'm like, what is my child gonna have to choose from?
Or even that. So they might not necessarily cuss in front of their parents. I've seen people do it, but they don't have that adult respect. Like I did photos at a high school. No, this was an 8th grade prom. Had the 360 out there. We spinning on them. The song choice is already like, this is the song y'all choosing. Right. Okay, this is already low, but I'm spinning the 360. These mothers throwing the middle finger, somebody they dancing, the girls are circled around, they done flipped up the dresses, took off the shoes, somebody snapped somebody's wig off, threw that around, they was throwing around like the beach ball at the basketball games, like it was off the chain. I was like, man, this might have been like our college parties. This is 8th grade. 8th grade, like no rules at all.
My child came to me a few weeks ago, and he said, Mommy, what do you call a girl that has a lot of boyfriends? I said, what? A girl that's got a lot of boyfriends? I said, what do you mean?
Oh, yeah.
He said, well, it's this girl in my class, and like she done been with she done had like 7 boyfriends already this first semester. Like we didn't even and she talking about she liked me, and I'm like, I don't want to be with you. You done been with everybody.
Right.
Now in the back of my mind, I'm like, baby, that's called her.
It's called her, yeah.
But I can't give you that word. I said, well, honey, she's very friendly. You don't want a friendly
You don't want
girl.
an overly friendly person.
You know what? She's a collector. You don't want a collector. But I'm thinking, this is 6th grade.
Right.
And this little girl done ran through the whole class already first semester. And then you smiling and spinning, skinning and grinning up in my child's face. He already know,
No, that ain't it.
No, you've been with everybody. Now, mind you, I don't know if they're doing anything, but
oh, they are.
But the fact that he comes to me and asks me, what do you call a girl that's got a lot of boyfriends?
All right.
I'm like, ooh.
He want to see what you gonna say to her too.
He probably do.
You know,
man with
you know,
the
like, man, he want to see mama's gonna say it.
I ain't gonna say it. When you're 16, I might.
Right. So what do you what is the 2024 agenda? What you got popping?
Honestly, to keep this peaceful train going.
Okay.
You know, losing my parents a couple of years ago, 23 was my healing year.
Right.
You know, I had to work and provide for my child, of course, but I really took a lot of me time to heal and process that. 24 is now rediscovering the new version of me, the one that, you know, my parents are gone and I'm out here like kind of on my own, and how I'm filling in the spot with, you know, I've been meeting so many incredible elders.
Right.
Like I met this woman at a concert, 91 years old, looked absolutely amazing. She calls me every week, checks on me. So I'm like, wow, God sent me like a bonus.
Like
but
another bonus.
So I'm right now, I'm just continuing the healing journey, but I'm also realizing that I'm not the same woman I was 2 years ago, and I'm learning her.
Right.
I'm learning her again. You know, I'm learning her, period. But, you know, honestly, right now, you know, finishing my book, you know, that I've been working on forever, that I couldn't seem to finish, but I realized I had to complete this chapter.
Right. You had to get all the
I had
chapters.
to finish Yep.
Yeah.
Now I can finish it. You know, supporting my baby.
Right.
You know.
You said tennis. I mean, I play tennis too.
Baby. My baby.
Hey, man,
I might
look,
have next Arthur
hey,
Ashe on my
hey, look,
hands.
now that's the funny thing, because it was so much stuff that we grew up on, and we just automatically assumed that it wasn't for us. Golf, tennis. Now I'm out there like, hey, I'll tear
When he
these.
said tennis, I was like, hurt.
I'll tear these people grass up,
You
but I'm gonna learn it.
son. You
Right,
look at him,
right.
you think immediately football.
Right, right.
Or basketball.
But you could. I want him to try everything: tennis,
Yep.
golf, volleyball,
Yep.
all them things.
And he's trying it all. He's played. I think the only sport he hasn't done yet is golf and lacrosse.
Yeah,
He doesn't
you
get
can have the
lacrosse.
lacrosse. Yeah,
He's like catching the ball with a stick. He just doesn't get it.
that ain't my ministry.
But I support him, you know, and just trying to be the best mom, because like I said, my schedule has been relentless with taking care of mom and dad and my full-time career.
Right.
You know, now that I've got the time, I'm really focusing on, you know, being present, being mama.
Right.
You know, celebrating his wins, being there for his losses, you know. This is personal. This year is personal for me. Last year was personal, it was the healing.
Right.
This year is personal, where it's now, who are we and what do we do now?
She getting greedy.
Yeah.
Greedy buzzard.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it.
We gotta get greedy on this time. You already know how we do. We gotta get greedy.
That, I like
but
that.
man, it really is that time to, you know, for the folks that made it through COVID, you know, that was something different, you know, and you had to learn, and the word was pivots. You know, pivots and gyms was all COVID, right?
Yeah,
Pivots
I
and
realized
gyms.
I was running from dealing with a lot of stuff, staying busy,
Mm-hmm.
and calling it hustling,
Right.
calling it being a boss. And then I had to deal with that. Losing mom and dad was definitely the wake-up call I needed to throw me into that tailspin of, you can no longer hide this anymore. You have to deal with this. You have to sit in this. And I'm so glad I did, because who I'm becoming and learning every day something new about myself, I'm like, I was running from this? Oh,
Right.
wow. So, you know, and that's probably why I don't want to date right now.
Right.
I don't want to share this moment with anybody coming in here messing up my progress.
Setting me back. You need to relax.
Okay, happy up in therapy. No, I'm very, very happy in my space right now.
That's what's up. That's what's up. So I don't think a lot of people know about your organization. So tell us about this.
Yes,
because
my
I know that's
nonprofit.
real dear to you.
Yes, my Wigs of Love nonprofit foundation.
I have to be a responsible man, you know, because my children are looking at me.
I believe a first date is the man giving you a glimpse into his world. So if that's what he sees and that's what he wants to show you, great.
If we're gonna be greedy, man, we can't leave without talking about food, bro.
We got to.
I found it back in 2016. It was founded after I lost my girlfriend Vanessa to brain cancer. And mind you, that was the third time she had battled cancer. She had breast twice and brain cancer. Took her home with the Lord. And, you know, I used to send her my wigs, my extra wigs, because she had lost all her hair. And she ended in the end, embraced her baldness, which I thought she was beautiful
super
and
dope.
regal.
Right.
But, you know, that initial, as black women, you know, our hair, she went through that initial like, oh my God, I have no hair on my head, so I would send her wigs. So when she passed, her daughter sent all those wigs back to me. And I said, because she was like, I don't know what to do with them. I said, okay. I'm sitting back, okay, fine. So I had all these wigs, what do I do with them? Wigs of Love was born of me getting those wigs freshened up and donating them to women who lost their hair.
That's awesome, man.
Whether it was cancer or lupus. And then as I did more research into the organization, I realized I had an infinity and just a deep, passionate support for people who suffer from lupus.
Right.
Because I had never known that my Aunt G, who I watched become very ill, who was just so regal, like she was on some Diane Carroll stuff when I was a kid.
Right.
And for her to, get lupus and to watch her whole body transform, the bloating, the darkness of her skin, her blotchy hair, and to watch her, suffer like that and realizing that was lupus, that's what made me turn Wigs of Love into more of a foundation to help women with lupus be seen and heard, because it's such a silent disease.
Yeah,
no one talks about
because it. Because it's not always, but it's always,
yeah.
It's like it's always present.
It's really stepped under the rug, and then people don't understand the symptoms and how people say they're tired. Like, I wanted women and even the men who have it, because I've met men who had it. I thought it was a women's disease. Little did I know, men can catch it too. So I realized that, people ignore their symptoms because they think they're exaggerating because they don't understand lupus. So my job with Wigs of Love, and you can go to wigsoflove.org, plugged. To find out how you can help these women and men who are suffering from this can be seen and heard and know that this is a real autoimmune, deficiency, and that they need support just like any other chronic illness.
Yes, man. Man, I appreciate you. We always cut up, but we always have we look up and it be 3 hours down the road, like, we just talked for like 40 hours.
I know.
But man, I appreciate you.
Appreciate you,
and,
brother.
Anytime
Best
you need
photographer. Every picture you see, I got that's glammed up. Yeah,
Till next time, sis.
Done some things in my life, you did. Real. Wrote a song about it, here it go. I done things, know what I mean? Chasing his dreams, all of the hurt, all of the hate, the struggling just to be free. Know what I mean? But I am queen, this is my year. I'm coming through, cause God's blessing me. Better than done it. In them streets, road running. Money moves with my goons, flipping, stacking, getting them hundreds. All dudes, one running. Ballin' straight up stunning. Living the vida loca, but God was trying to tell me something. Stop denying me like Pete. I'm the shepherd, you my sheep. And you thinking Vegas hot, well hell hotter than Vegas heat. So sit down, be humble, please. Don't act like your stuff don't stick. And turn from your wicked ways, deny yourself and follow me. Okay, God forgive me, please. I be bugging so.
It's time to tell my truth, my story. Beautiful beast, real spit.
Man, I done done some things in my life, you did.
Hey guys, it's your girl Miss Lyric, aka the Beautiful Beast. And I just wanted to take some time to invite my strong friends out. Listen, ladies, this is the time where we get to come together and do sisterhood, connect, get in the room with people that have been through some strong situations and that are prepared and have the resources and have the passion, the love, the authentic care about you and what you're going through and helping you elevate and take your brand or just life. Like life been lifing out here. And sometimes you just need a strong friend to give you a hug, sometimes to give you a pat on the back, sometimes to give you a, girl, go and do what you know you're supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? So this is what that event is about. You have the opportunity to come in the room with some powerful women who have been through some strong, I'm telling you, these are champion women and that have been through some hard things in life, but yet still authentically been true to themselves, true to their journey, and are out here helping other women. And that's what it's about. Collaboration over competition. You know we stand on that, okay? So if you feel like, hey, I need a sisterhood, I need somewhere safe to share my story, to be around like-minded and like-hearted individuals, this is the community for you. So we're inviting you out to She Connects weekend. And that's just the weekend of empowerment, love, sisterhood. And if you have a business and you want to set up, you can even set up and sell and promote your products as well. So this is just really an opportunity for you to come out and share in a safe environment and connect with some sisters that actually care about you winning, all right? No more gatekeeping, no more hating, none of that. I hope that you're having an amazing day, and make sure you share and tag a sister, and only if they stand on collaboration, because if they competing, we don't want them over here. You cannot sit with us. But if you want to win and you know that collaboration starts at the top, then we can go there together.
This is a beat, Addicts beat. I'm eating white beat.
Keep your head up, even though I know you're fed up in life. Be throwing your punches, but you still gotta get up and fight.